Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, and today we have a brand new record that I've been looking for ever since I really got into city pop. It's Sunshower by Taeko Ohnuki, a pretty famous city pop album, one of the older ones, pretty sure it came out in the 70s, and yeah, it's infamously difficult to get a copy of. The original pressing is very rare. I think they did a repress, and that one's also really hard to find. They did a repress in 2014, and that one's, city pop wasn't even really that big back then. So that one's also incredibly hard to find. And then they did a super expensive 45 RPM version, which I'm sure sounded great, but it was like $80. So I could not justify purchasing it. And fortunately, they have repressed it, and this seems to be a pretty much exact repress of the 2014 version, which by all accounts is quite good. Got it through HMV, great record place. They pretty big record store in Japan. They sell almost everything. They get almost everything shipped fast with EMS. I like it a lot. And as you can see, we got some good packaging right here. Very nice. And very thick. I don't have my little cutty thing, so I have to go with the knife. Stand back, kids. I don't know how to use this thing, but I am. It sure is sharp. Okay. If I don't cut the record open. These things are usually on the bottom though, so I think it's safe. So let's see if that worked. And success. All right. Packing label. And the record that I've waited so long for. It is Sunshower by Taeko Ohnuki. Wonderful. That's so cool. Let's take it out of that nice bubble wrap. Very secure. Close the knife. Oh. And yeah, let's open this up. So this one was released on Pan Am Records. They were pretty important in the 70s in Japan, I guess, but they kind of disappeared in a way. They kind of, in the 80s, they weren't nearly as big, but they did stuff for Taeko Ohnuki, Haruo Hosono, some of his early albums before Alpha, and Shigeru Suzuki, who is also in Happy End with Haruo Hosono. And Tin Pan Alley, that's Haruo Hosono's band. There's a lot of, pretty important people, early players in the sort of pre-city pop days. And this one, I wouldn't really consider like pure city pop. It's pretty chill. People say new music sometimes, which is kind of a stupid label, but at the time, it's kind of like it's kind of a pre-city pop, more soft rock, I would say, less funky. Yeah, but this one's pretty good, and it's legendary. It has the kind of legendary status in much of Japan and the city pop community online, so that's why this one is so hard to get a copy of. I think over $200 for an original pressing, which is insanity. But fortunately, they repressed this. It actually was one of the more economical Japanese represses I've seen. I think it was under 4,000 yen, which is kind of rare these days. Usually they're 4,000 yen or up, but this one was under that, so that's cool. They also reissued her other Pan Am record, Gray Skies, which is not bad, but not as good. And that one's not too hard to find in original pressing. You might pay a little bit, but it's nothing insane. So yeah, let's let's take this out. Got a record there, and we got a lyric sheet. Looks like it folds open. Very cool. We got a star-studded band. We got Taeko Ohnuki herself, and then on the front we have Ryuichi Sakamoto, Haruomi Hosono, Yasuaki Shimizu. So Ryuichi Sakamoto and Haruomi Hosono went on to form YMO. They were working together before the debut the Paraiso. That was when they first started working with Yukihiro Takahashi. Kenji Omura, he's a fusion artist. He's pretty important. Yasuaki Shimizu, pretty famous saxophonist. Nov Saito and Tsunehide Matsuki, not familiar with them. And Christopher Parker, he's white, but they got him. I got some lyrics. Pretty, it's a pretty old album, so it's not too flashy. Pretty simplistic, I'd say. And yeah, here's the record from Pan Am Records, which is a division of Crown. Nippon Crown. Pan Am. Looks pretty cool. I find it funny, kind of like Pan Am. Wasn't it like copyrighted? It was like Pan American Airlines, but I don't know. I guess they just wasn't flying to Japan, so they were able to call it Pan Am Records. Yeah, so songs got Summer Connection, Kusuri o Takusan, which means like lots of medicine. Nani mo iranai, you don't need anything. Tokai, Karapo no Isu, and Law of Nature, Dare no Tameni, Silent Screamer, not to be confused with the Tatsuri Yamashita song, it's a different song. Sargasso Sea, and I don't know how to pronounce that last one, sorry. Yeah, it's a pretty good album. I wouldn't say it's like the best city pop album. It's a pretty good one, and it's definitely one of the better ones. But I'd still consider it lower than like some Tatsuri Yamashita, some Minako Yoshida. But at this price, I think it'd be pretty cool to get. I would never spend 200 over for this, honestly. I don't like it that much. So yeah, put that back in there. So I've heard good things about, well, the 2014 pressing, and assuming this one's identical, then I'm hoping this will also be good. So I'll give it a listen. I'll take some notes, some mental notes, and I'll tell you what I think of this repress of Sunshower by Taeko Ohnuki. See you soon. So, what did you think? Sorry about those short little clips. Trying to kind of avoid copyright claims. I mean, it's not really, I am not monetized at all, but I feel like I should try to limit those. I'm getting a lot of them, so I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of use shorter clips from now on. Hopefully that doesn't really cause any problems. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good pressing. Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, it's silent, not really any surface noise, good sound, crisp, loud, you hear everything. Pretty well done. I mean, I'm sure that 45 RPM, $80 one sounds great too, but that's just not worth it. That's way too much money. So, yeah, I'm glad they made this much more affordable pressing for an album that is very much not affordable most of the time. It's definitely one of those albums that really needed it. I wouldn't consider this to be one of my like all-time favorite city pop albums. It's just, you know, one I listen to every now and then. It's not like I wouldn't consider like a masterpiece. But it is definitely something like worthy of being in the city pop record collection. Definitely one of the greats, one of the well-known albums of the genre. And man, what a lineup they got here. These are some really really talented artists, kind of before, this was 1977, kind of before they're getting bigger. And it's kind of surprising just to see how much talent is packed into this record. So yeah, this is still available, I'm pretty sure. I know Light in the Attic was selling it, and Cromulent Records, who they're a pretty good Japanese like import seller in the United States. I bought Haruo Hosono record from them, and it was really good. I think they might have some copies. I definitely think that HMV has some in stock, so you can check that out. And they're selling them on Discogs for pretty reasonable prices too. It's the same listing or the same version as the 2014 one, but yeah. Oh yeah, so I recommend it for City Pop fans, Taeko Ohnuki fans. Sunshower repress from 2021. Pretty well done. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.